Hey guys, this video is for our kindergarten and first grade team for April week 2. So last week we had the Easter story and we talked about waiting on Jesus. This week our story is about Hannah praying for our baby, and our bottom line is, when you think you can't wait, talk to God about it. And our life app is patience, waiting until later for what you want now. Our memory verse for this month is wait for the Lord. Be strong and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. And patience is a great life app. In our small group this week, we were talking about fruit of the Spirit, and almost every single one of us said we needed more patience in our life. So what a great thing to learn about this month. So make sure that you're arriving at 8:30 and 10:30 and just pause. And I love, last week I saw the 2nd through 4th grade team praying together before service started. So take a few minutes to pray for the kids. Just pray that they would walk away with ways that they can practice patience. And just pray for your small group in general. And then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, as you're playing with them in your circle, asking about their week, make sure you know all their names. Definitely make sure any first-time guests feel welcome. And then you can ask kids questions like, when's your birthday? How do you like to celebrate your birthday? When your birthday gets close, is it hard for you to wait? Just getting them thinking about waiting for special occasions. So then when service begins at 9 and 11, you're going to do a little intro activity game called What Time Is It, Mr. Fox? So you're going to choose one kid, and they'll stand at one end of the room, and they're going to be Mr. or Mrs. Fox, and they're going to put their back to everyone else. And when you signal, everyone else will say, what time is it, Mr. Fox? And Mr. Fox will say, it's 2 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. And that's how many steps that everyone else takes forward. And they can choose any size, good job. They can choose any size step they want. But if they say, what time is it, Mr. Fox? Mr. Fox can say, it's time to chase you. And then he can turn around and chase the other players back to the starting line. And if he tags them, then they're out. So you'll kind of have to explain that. You might have to model it and show it a few times. And then you can also tell kids, okay guys, this time we're all going to hop like kangaroos when Mr. Fox tells us what time it is. Or we're all going to tiger crawl, or we're all going to take baby steps, and just change it up that way. And then when the game is over, before you head to large group, you're just going to say, have you guys ever had to wait a long time for something? What was it? Was it hard to wait? And what did you do while you waited? So maybe even talk about like when you're at a restaurant and you're waiting for food to come, or you're waiting for your mom to finish dinner, or whatever it might be. And then you'll just say, so guys, in our Bible story today, we're going to hear about a woman who had to wait a long time for something she really wanted. Then you'll head down to the large group room and sit with your crew as you listen to the story and help them worship. When you get back from large group at 9:40 and 11:40, you're going to do a little story picture. So you have this thing, and this is a little summary of the story. So basically, Hannah wanted a baby for a long time, and she would go to the temple and pray. And one day she was at the temple crying and praying because she wanted a baby so bad. And one of the priests there, Eli, told her to go, that she would have a baby. So then she had to wait some more, and she eventually had a baby boy. And she had promised God that if he allowed her to have a child, that she would dedicate that child to him. So she did. And the boy's name was Samuel, and when he got older, she brought him to the temple, and he became basically a servant of God. So that's what this says, is a little summary. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can just spread the pictures out in front of your small group, and as you read the story, every time you say a character's name, you can have them do a different motion. So when you say Hannah, they could practice brushing long hair. When you say Eli, they could put their hand over their heart. When you say the baby, they could rock a baby. When you say Samuel, they could like stand up on their knees like they're a growing boy. Or you could put these in a little circle and then have your kids stand in a big circle around, and as you tell the story, you move from one character to the next. So just think about that before Sunday. Think about how you want to review that story with your kids and what you think is the best way for your small group. So then when you close that down, you'll just say, so guys, Hannah knew that God was the only one that could help her wait for the baby she wanted so much. So maybe you're having a hard time waiting for something. Maybe you're waiting for your dad to get a job, or for somebody to get healthy, or for a pet, or your brother or sister to be nice to you. And maybe you're sad or mad about having to wait, and that's okay. God loves you, so tell him how you feel. And he can help you feel better, and he can help you be patient. So no matter what you're waiting for, remember, when you think you can't wait, talk to God about it, just like Hannah talked to God about it. Then what you'll do for your memory verse review is you're going to give each one of the kids one of these pages, and it has our memory verse around the outside, so you'll read it with them. So wait for the Lord. Be strong and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. And have kids point to the words as you read them out loud, and just emphasize the fact that we can wait for God because we can trust him. Then review that Hannah waited a long time, but as she waited, she trusted God. And then let kids color the border of the page, and as they're coloring, maybe share times when they need to trust God as they wait. If they're stuck, you could say maybe have they had to wait to get a pet, or wait for mom or dad to get a job, or wait for someone to get better who's been sick, or wait for someone to know Jesus. And then ask if they can draw a picture of what they waited for inside of their frame. And remind kids that no matter what they're waiting for, they can trust God and talk to him. So then you'll just close by saying, guys, Hannah had to wait a long time for something she wanted more than anything in the world, which was a baby. And Hannah waited so long that she became really sad. But when Hannah talked to God and told him how she felt, she wasn't as sad anymore. God heard her prayer and helped her feel better. So maybe share about a time when you had to wait for something and you talked to God about it. And then just close by saying, so if you ever feel sad or angry or upset about having to wait, just talk to God about it and tell him how you feel. Then when you close in prayer, just guide kids to sit silently and think of something that they're waiting for. They give you some suggestions here, and then just lead them in this prayer, asking God to help kids trust him while they wait. So when their parents come to pick them up, have kids talk to their parents about their bottom line. Make sure that they take home their little memory verse sheet. And then if they weren't here at an Easter service, make sure that they take home a parent cue and a memory verse card. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for being small group leaders and serving. I just appreciate you all so much. I just can't even express it every single week. So just thank you so much for giving your time and energy to serve God, and I'll see you all on Sunday.